Peggy Cunningham. I'm the director of the Center for Corporate Social Responsibility at Queen's University. And I'm really intrigued by this whole idea of social responsible consumption and what it means for marketers and for marketing. And I think, you know, all the statistics really show that, particularly in North America, Europe, and Australia, that we're consuming far more than we would ever be. I think they're saying, you know, 1.5 planets to 3 planets in terms of the resources that we're consuming. So when we look at our own countries, the developed countries, we're really sort of the most overpopulated in terms of our unfair use of resources. And I think, but those things have been trotted out, and consumers are, I mean, the good news is consumers are starting to take responsibility. So it is when we talk about responsible consumption. They are taking their responsibility for making change. They're not looking to government, they're not looking to businesses, they're also looking to themselves to make some responsible change. And some businesses have replied in terms of being extremely innovative and responding to this growing demand from consumers, whether it's socially responsible investing funds, whether it's innovation in terms of product like Toyota does in terms of, or whether it's really managing a whole value chain or supply chain like Walmart does. But I think the point of my talk was that's only half of the equation. So that's the demand side. Some people call it the market for virtue, that it's that market that's pulling companies towards being more sustainable and more responsible. But I think we also have to look at the supply side, and I'm, as a marketer, marketing instructor and a former marketing practitioner, it really concerns me that we've looked at some of the things that business is doing to respond without looking at the fundamental paradigm of what we do with marketing. And it does concern me that marketing really does, or some marketing, feeds on creating high levels of dissatisfaction, high levels of socially comparative consumption, so that we're really, you know, is trying to keep up with the Joneses or outbeat the Joneses, that we're totally unsustainable in overconsumption and the kinds of things like, you know, 50 pairs of shoes, huge cars, huge houses with 5-car garages, those kinds of things. I mean, it's just not sustainable, but we as marketers have to take our responsibility, because as a whole profession, we've pushed that through our advertising. We set these aspirational lifestyles. People get on a cycle. You know, you see it in commercials, and if you want to aspire to that lifestyle, then you have to work harder. The harder you work, the more your social relationships break down. The more your social relationships break down, the more unhappy you are. We're told through advertising that the more unhappy you are, go out and buy something that'll make you feel better, and it becomes this never-ending, you know, see, work, buy, and then you're so tired, your social relationships break down again, and then the cycle repeats. And I don't think we've thought about that as a profession, and I think we have to really address those kinds of questions, because constant growth is not sustainable. Models where the metric really is increased market share, increased consumption, mindless consumption, those things are not sustainable. And I think it's a call to action by the marketing profession to really try and think through what is the marketing paradigm, and can we make marketing itself more sustainable. And I think there were some great suggestions in the room about how to do that. So certainly focus on trying to get the shift of consumer demand from unsustainable products to more sustainable products. There is some demarketing that's taking place in terms of let's make people more aware. It's maybe moving from a product-based economy and planned obsolescence to a service and knowledge-based economy might be some of the solutions that I heard being discussed.